Welcome to all Air Clips viewers. This is from Air Baltic. My name is Alan Vevelstad and I will be the captain on this flight to Paris today. So here is our crew briefing area. This is where we start our duty. So we check into the computer system, and we also have the full flight schedule here where we see which airplanes we fly and to which destinations. So as we can see from our screen here, we can see that the flight today is going to be on Charlie Sierra Alpha, and that's one of our new C Series aircraft, the CS300. So the screen here tells us the parking position and also what the passenger load would be. This, of course, we can also find into the flight planning system, and Air Baltic is using the Lido flight planning system from Lufthansa. The first page here is basically company messages, and then we move to the operational flight plan, which tells us about the mission, the load, the weights, the alternate airports, the amount of fuel required. Then comes the weather information. So we have it starts with the airmats and sigmats and anything that's unusual. The destination, then we have alternate, and then we have any en route airports. NOTAMs for all the airports, destination, alternates, and en routes, and then we also have weather maps. And on the weather maps we can actually see where the routing takes us today. So it is from Riga, crossing the northwestern corner of Lithuania, corner of Baltic Sea into Poland around Gdansk, and then more or less straight through the remainder of Poland, across Germany, and into Paris. Actually, it will go into Belgium, slightly into Luxembourg, and then to France and to Paris. And then we also have the significant weather charts there, so we can see where the jet streams are and where there's any kind of significant weather. So as we can see today, there is basically nothing on our route, so it should be a smooth ride. And finally we have the vertical profile of the flight. So it shows the wind direction and the speed, where the tropopause is, and the waypoints and terrain actually at the bottom. Now I'm still waiting for my crew, and then we'll do the last part of the preparations, and then we will meet up in the airplane and do our short crew briefing in the airplane.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you.
So this is a briefing. Today we fly from Riga to Paris. Yeah, flight time is 2 hours and 25 minutes. On the way to Paris, temperature in Paris 25 degrees. Smooth and nice flight it's supposed to be. And for information, APU is inoperative, so let's keep doors open as long as possible for passengers. And from my side, that's all.
Which stand do we have for the aircraft?
303.
03, and the flight
That's
on
okay.
the way back?
On the way back, we expect 220.
220. Thank you.
Especially for Eclipse video channel. Welcome to Riga. My name is Gins. I'm first officer on this amazing CS300 aircraft, and I will introduce you to external check. I'm checking ground connection port, the condition and doors. Is everything correct? Next I go to check nose wheel assembly, all the hydraulic pipes, any leakages, taxi lights, pitiots, ice detector probes, angle attack vanes. Is there something what can obstruct them? Then we see windshields, windshield wipers, front part of fuselage, doors, baggage doors, and condition, water drain, antennas, main landing lights, air inlet. Then we start to check wing, the engine, cows, fan rotor, condition, P2T probe. Is there any leakages? Pylons, engine from the behind, turbine condition, and leading edge of the wing, lights, winglets, static dischargers, flaps. Main landing gear assembly, tire wearing, brake wear checked, oleo, pipes, no leakages, pipe protection loop, service doors, after cargo doors, of course emergency doors, empennage, elevator, radar, APU, lights, and basically all the same. After doors, left main wheel assembly, left side wing condition, winglets, lights, static dischargers, leading edge, left-hand engine, fan, looks good, left-hand side main landing lights. And of course we check windows and overall view one more time. And we are finished. And let's go to Paris.
Welcome.
You can close.
225, thank you.
225.
To you.
Aeronautic 6 Bravo Lima, ground.
6 Bravo Lima, go.
123. Yep. Can you read me? Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you on board this air-Baltic flight to Paris. We are shortly ready for departure. We are expecting a flying time of 2 hours and 25 minutes. Takeoff will be to the north and then with a quick left turn south westbound towards Paris. We're expecting good weather en route, and the weather in Paris is as well good. Winds are from southeast at 6 meters per second, clear skies and temperature of 23 degrees Celsius. Before departure, the cabin crew will show you a safety video. Please pay close attention to this. It's for your own safety. Otherwise, I hope you find yourself comfortably seated, and I'll get back to you with more information before landing in Paris. Have a good flight. Thank you. Ready for our briefing? Okay, so we are expecting runway 36 for departure. The weather is fine. Aircraft is good. As we briefed, APU is inoperative, so we will have to use ground starter. It's on the right side, so we'll start the left engine first. Okay, and then after engine started, external disconnected, we'll push. In case we have any failures before 80 knots, both can call failure. I call stop. It's my controls. I'll bring the aircraft to a stop, set the parking brake. You call ATC. Once the aircraft have stopped, we'll inform cabin crew, and then we'll do the rejected takeoff procedure. Between AT and V1, we only abort for major malfunctions, the same callouts, and anything that is red comes first. Failures after V1, we take it airborne, close the climb, we select the gear up, and we continue climb at V2. We climb V2 up to acceleration altitude, which is 1700 feet. Then we accelerate in level flight, retract the flaps, and continue at green dot speed, then up to, the MSA. The acceleration altitude is 900 feet. And otherwise, the engine failure takes us straight ahead on runway centerline. We have to stay within 25 miles. Anyway, the weather is good, so it could facilitate a quick return if we need to. Takeaway is 49.2 tons. We have a trim of 3.3, and it will be runway 36 and Oscar 4 Juliet. We do takeoff with flex 48, and the thrust should be 78.8%, which we'll have when we have started the engines. Otherwise, it's flap 2, engines is the bleed source, and speeds 124, 127, and 130. So, runway 36, we climb on we climb till 800 feet at or above, 1.5 miles, and then we turn left to 24 inbound to Oscar. Final cruising is flight level 400. Anything else? No. Okay. Then let's do the pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Airplane documents.
On board and checked.
Emergency equipment.
Is checked.
Gear pins.
On board.
Overhead panel.
Is checked.
Gear shield.
The gear shield is checked.
Displays.
Checked.
ACUS and info.
Is all checked.
Altimeters.
1015 set as 20 feet.
1015 cross checked. Center panel.
Is checked.
Gear slow.
Checked.
Side sticks.
Checked.
Checked. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Riga ground, air-Baltic 84, Foxtrot requesting startup. Just for information, we have to start one engine on the apron.
Air-Baltic 84 Fox, let's start approved information Bravo, QNH 1015.
Startup approved, QNH 1015, air-Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Startup is approved, 1015. Okay, let's do it before start checklist.
Take a briefing.
It's completed.
APU external power.
On external power.
Beacon.
It's on.
Parking brake.
It is set.
Check.
Ground from flight deck.
Ground cockpit pre-departure check is completed. All doors, panels, hatches are closed and secured.
Okay, thank you. And then we'd like to start the engine number 1.
Okay, starting number 1. Can we make a pressure up?
Yes, you may go ahead with the pressure up.
Starting.
Okay, start left engine.
Left engine on.
Left engine is stabilized. Ground flight deck.
Yes.
So you may disconnect the high pressure air, and you may also disconnect the external power.
Ground power disconnected. After 2 seconds will be disconnected. I've started. Are you ready to starting a push?
Yeah, stand by. We'll get the clearance.
Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot requesting pushback.
Air Baltic 8 for Fox, straight push approved.
Straight pushback approved, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot.
Okay, approved. Ground flight deck.
Ground, hello.
Okay, may I disconnect the parking brake?
Yes, disconnect the parking brake, please.
Brake is off. You may start push.
Push straight.
Yes, straight push. Straight. And we'd like to start on the right engine.
Tranzīts uz Budapestu Bravo 4.
Ground flight deck.
Yes, hello. We can start another engine after pushback will complete.
Okay, well done.
Uz Oslo būs Bravo 6, 108 stāvvieta. Čau.
Pushback completed. Please set the brakes.
Okay, brakes are set, and we'd like to start engine 2.
Cross bleed allowed.
Okay, start right engine.
Right engine on.
You see how it takes the high pressure air off the left engine.
Tow car and tow bar disconnected.
Okay, just stand by 1 second. And we have 2 good starts. You may disconnect yourself, see in front for clear signal.
Okay, see you, bye bye, have a good flight.
Thank you, bye. Okay, we can do the before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist, Headrow 3 Alpha.
Auto.
Headrow 3 Bravo.
On.
Headrow 2 Bravo.
On.
ATS left Gaulle.
Auto.
ATS wing.
Auto.
ATS right Gaulle.
Auto.
APU.
Is off.
Flap.
2 selected.
Flight controls.
Okay, left aileron. Right aileron. Nose down. Nose up. Left rudder.
Airport 2101 ready for taxi.
Airport 8 for Fox, taxi to holding point runway 36 by Fox at Alpha.
Checked. Now steer. On. FMS. Set. Trims.
1 to green.
Heikes and info.
Checked.
Before taxi check complete.
Thank you.
Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot requesting taxi.
Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot taxi to holding point runway 36, Victor Foxtrot Alpha as number 2.
Victor Foxtrot Alpha as number 2, holding point runway 36, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Victor, Fox, Alpha to holding
as
point.
number 2.
36 as number 2.
Check.
Taxi light to narrow.
Taxi narrow.
Okay, brakes is off, and off we go.
Right side free.
The left side is free. Cabin is ready.
Checked.
And left side is free.
And left side free.
So the performance is valid from Bravo basically.
Sorry, before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Cabin.
Ready.
And test left goal.
Auto.
Test wing.
Auto.
And test right goal.
Auto.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Exit info.
It's checked.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
And you may box the CAS.
Ground Canadian 1643, request startup.
And the parking brake is on.
Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot when ready, contact Riga Tower 19.1.
181, labdien, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Reasonable. Partisan 001 after low approach, continue runway heading, altitude 2500.
After low approach, runway heading 2500, Martins 9001.
Riga Tower, labdien, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot, in sequence, fully ready from Alpha, runway 36.
Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot Riga Tower, roger.
So the message info is according to APU in op.
Checked.
So that's per check log.
Thank you.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot Tower.
Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot to clearance after departure, continue runway heading to altitude 4000 feet.
After departure, continue runway heading to 4000 feet, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Correct.
Okay, so after departure, runway heading 4000. Heading mode set.
Check.
Airflow 2101, line up runway 36 and wait.
Line up and wait runway 36, Airflow 2101.
Okay, park brake is off.
Check.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, line up runway 36 and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 36, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Line up and wait, runway 36. Park brake off, and left side is free. Entering runway 36.
Right, so departing traffic.
Yeah, line up.
Procedure complete.
Thank you. They seem to be on an extended downwind.
Looks like that. Nice weather. Good.
Probably a little bit bumpy on takeoff.
Could be.
Turbulence.
So runway 36 in Riga.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, sufficient 360 degrees 9 knots, runway 36, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 36, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Clear takeoff, ready?
Ready.
Park brake off. engaged.
Checked.
Riga approach, Labdien, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot, straight ahead, runway heading 36.
Okay for Foxtrot. We're contact climb to level 280, time flight heading 240.
Climbing flight level 280, left heading 240, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot.
Left 240.
Checked. And flight level 280 checked.
And yeah, 280 set. V-flight level change, climb sequence.
Flaps 1 selected. Flap 0 selected.
Go.
Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot, no speed restrictions, direct Ascor.
Direct Ascor, no speed restrictions, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot.
Set direct to Ascor.
Confirm execute.
Execute. And FMS 1.
Checked.
Okay, so standard. And heading auto.
Check. After takeoff checklist complete.
Thank you.
Air Baltic 4132, Master Go, clear the LS 36, report ocean lock.
Clear the LS, runway 36, Wilco, Air Baltic 413.
Aerofoot 2101, direct Igor.
Direct Igor, Aerofoot 2101.
So it's a nice day, huh?
Very nice.
Jurmal on the right.
Okay, okay. Jurmal on the right side, yes, as you mentioned.
And Lielupe, is that the second largest river or longest river?
Sounds like that. Second largest. Could be. Could be. Largest one is Daugava. We are facing to Liepāja city. Approaching to those.
Okay, procedures please.
Lights and belts to auto.
Yes.
Complete.
Thank you. And we are accelerating to 275 for the climb.
Check.
It's actually good visibility as well. I can see the coast already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're closing in on Lithuanian border now, yeah? Heading towards Klaipėda.
For Foxtrot, climb to level 320, change to Vilnius, 133.305.
3305, climbing flight level 320, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot.
320 is set.
Checked.
And I increase the temperature a little bit.
Yeah,
same for the cabin.
Vilnius control, Basdienas, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot, climbing flight level 320, inbound Ascor.
Baltic 828 for Foxtrot, Vilnius, Labadiena, ready contact, climb to initially 320.
Continue climb flight level 320, Air Baltic 8 for Foxtrot.
320 is checked.
Check, check.
So RVSM check, 27 2 now. So we're all good, yeah. No message as well.
Do you want altitude climb check?
Yeah, we can do that one as well.
Okay. Test wing goes off. Avoid icing conditions. Complete.
Thank you. So welcome back. We have just reached our cruising altitude. We're flying at 40,000 feet today. That's about 12,100 meters. Yeah, we are flying now at a speed of Mach 0.78. Ground speed is 440 knots. We just crossed into the Baltic Sea here, and actually between this waypoint and that waypoint, that's where we are within Russian airspace, Kaliningrad. And then further on we can see the route goes to Poland, Gdansk here, and then we fly across Poland. Bodla, I believe, is the waypoint between Poland and Germany, and then we continue across Germany. And here is Belgium, and then down south actually through Belgium, Luxembourg, and then into Paris, which we have here. So actually we have a screen here that gives us a long range. You can see your whole flight. And if that's not possible, then we can even change the format of the map, and we can actually move the routing around. So I can look very detailed into the routes here all the way to Paris. So at the moment we have a gross weight of about 48 tons, and we started out at being 49.2 almost. And the time then to go now to our airport is about 1 hour and 50 minutes. Plus minus a few minutes, since we don't have our arrival in there yet. So this screen is what we are actually using for our FMS. And as you can see, it's not like in older airplanes. There is no hardware buttons. It's all graphical. And that's usually how you interface with this aircraft. It's we have what we call a cursor control device. So it's a scroll. It's a cursor that we control here with a button, and then we have select keys here on the side. Yeah, and actually the FMS is I think quite intuitive. We have tabs and we have tiles. So our flight planning basically would start with a database, and then it would move. Here is position, everything that has to do with position, IRSs, satellites, GNSS, and then the conventional. And this aircraft actually has SBAS, so it's a satellite-based augmentation system. It also allows us very precise approach navigation, so we can fly LPV approaches out of the box with this aircraft. And in fact, as long as the aircraft is within coverage of EGNOS or SBAS, the FMS will disregard IRSs to update its position. It will only use GNSS. So here we have the flight planning tile. This is where we initialize, and because we have ACARs, we are actually getting the flight plan uplinked to the aircraft, so it reduces the workload for the pilot during the pre-flight portion of it quite a lot. So we just send a flight plan request to our operations control, and then it gets sent up to the aircraft, and the flight plan gets populated in the FMS. And the same thing with winds. So we just request winds, and it gets sent up to the aircraft. Performance, it's everything logically, so starting from the takeoff, departure, through climb, and now we're in cruise here, where you can see what speed strategy we currently are following, the cruise altitude, the optimum altitude, and the maximum altitude for the current weight of the aircraft. Then we have descent, will be for later, and arrival. And then the pilot, so the pilot flying, he usually has the performance on his side, so we would now have cruise, and the route is on the pilot monitoring side, so where we can see the waypoints and everything. All screens can basically be reconfigurable. We can put a map down here if you want, or we can put FMS up on this screen. The ECAS we could put it on the one of the right screens. And you can actually also do, with just a map, you can do graphical flight planning. So you can click on any point and modify your flight plan basically. So now my co-pilot, he was doing this in the FMS, but another way to do that would be to go here on the map, mark the waypoints, model, and then direct and execute. So there's multiple ways of interfacing with the avionics in this aircraft. Another example is when we tune frequencies. So we could do it the old way of selecting here and tuning frequency and then switching it over, or we could use a software page, basically set the frequency there with just the numbers here on the MKP and then change the frequency. Very simple. Aircraft has CPDLC. It's a requirement, it's a forward fit requirement, and we are using that, but it's not active in Poland yet, Polish airspace. So we'll log in later. ACARs, I said we have. So this is what we use to communicate with our operations center. So reporting, we report to them, they report to us. We request weather reports, we request air traffic control clearances, we get our load sheets, etc. via ACARs. It's a nice tool, but unfortunately we don't talk to our operations control anymore on radio, so maybe it gets a bit lonely once in a while. Then we have one display that's basically dedicated to our primary flight instruments. So you have the attitude directory indicator, you have speed, you have altitude. Here you have the flight mode annunciations, so the way that the flight director is working, status of the autopilot. We have a compass rows at the bottom. There is information about the active waypoint. And here we have one nice thing, and that is the flight number, because on the older types that you fly where you don't have the flight number in front of your face, you sometimes have to get your flight plan and refer because you don't remember what it is anymore. The time, the date, and the temperature. You would also get any kind of messages, FMS messages and stuff here on the side of the screen. So ECAS, the engine instruments. So here we have the primary, the thrust setting values up here, the engine temperatures, and then it's more secondary instruments, the N2, so how fast the core is spinning, the fuel flow. You can see now we have 800 kilos per engine per hour, so that's 1.6 tons cruise. That's quite good for this type of airplanes, but it's brand new. So oil temperature, oil pressure. We can see more information if you want to. Here we have the fuel, that's the total fuel load, and here we have the wing tanks, and then in the center tank. That's indication regarding the cabin altitude and oxygen for the crew, and we have the temperatures here in the airplane. So we have one zone for the flight deck. We like to keep it cool. The passengers, they usually like to keep it warmer, so it's 29-28 degrees now in the forward and aft cabin. Trim setting for the aircraft, the stabilizer, and otherwise we only have actually a rudder trim indication. Aircraft is fly-by-wire, so we actually don't have any conventional trim on this aircraft. And here we have a message box that tells us if there is something that's not normal. At the moment we have actually selected the wing anti-ice off, as you can see here. We have a function that we can actually remove them all. We call it boxing the CAS. So now it's unbox. We have an APU fault, it's an advisory message, and it's because the APU is inoperative. And otherwise, wing anti-ice off, hydraulic pump 2B and 3B is selected on. And then we have the portable electronic devices. We don't have a no smoking sign anymore, it's all given. And we have Synoptic Pages, so we can actually see more information. As I said, you can see more information about the engine. For example, how much oil is on the engine. Here would be APU information. The tire pressures, the brake temperatures. We can look at air system, so the bleed part of it and the packs, pressures coming off the engines. If we would select and the wing anti-ice would be on, these lines would be green. Trim air, and where trim air is supplied to, that is duct supply temperature. And here on we have the CON, that is the commanded or selected temperature, and then the actual temperature is given in white above. This small +3 and +2, that is an offset that a cabin crew is allowed to adjust. So cabin crew can adjust the temperature plus or minus 3 degrees in the cabin management system. Doors, so we can see the status of the doors, everything green, that's good, and armed for the slides. The overhead exits, their slides are always armed, so that's why we don't see those. 3 in the middle, that's the avionics bays that are under the aircraft, where all the computer and gadgets are hidden. Electrical page, so that's the engine side. So we are supplying the electrical system now from the left and the right generator. We can see the load on it, and we can see the voltage of them. AC buses, and then we have a dotted line, and that splits the AC system from the DC system. So batteries here on the top. Flight controls. So the aircraft is fly-by-wire. So everything the pilots do is via a side stick controller, and basically you give an input, electrical input to the primary flight control computers, and there's 3 of those, and they process the signal, and they, according to the built-in control laws, they may modify it. For example, if we're pitching the nose up and the speed drops off, you're not able to go to a lower speed where you stall the aircraft, basically. So it will prevent this. But it will also prevent the aircraft, for example, from banking more than a certain number of degrees. So we can see the position of ailerons, elevators, and the rudder here now. If anything, any surface gets inoperative, it will then get an amber indication on it. Fuel system, it's all automatic. You see the quantities, the temperatures, and we can see how the fuel is being used. So basically the fuel is taken from the collector bay and supplied into its respective engine. And then fuel, as we're burning fuel out of the wings, fuel is being transferred out of the center tank, as you can see by the green arrows. So we can see, this is the reservoir, we can see the quantity level, we can see the temperature. Here we can see what pumps are pressurizing the system. So for the number 1 and number 2 system, the primary is an engine-driven pump. And in this backup in number 1 system, we have a power transfer unit. And as a backup in the number 2 system, we have an electrical pump. And the number 3 hydraulic system is done pressurized by 2 electric hydraulic pumps. You can see the pressure, and you can also see what it's powering. And if you look at it, you can actually see that there is systems that are duplicated. So you have slats are on 2 and 3, flaps would be on 1 and 3, and some you can even see is triple. So very redundant airplane.
hours left before arrival, so 1 hour 5 minutes only. So now we don't have to run in and asking captains every time, so what time left? Easy. Also about system, let's say about water system or waste system, it's also clearly viewed here. And also if somebody in the cabin press the cabin call button, so we can see which row and which seat. Very convenient. Of course we can regulate the lights throughout all the cabin, as well as, which my favorite is Christmas and rainbow lights. It's very beautiful, it's all the time changing the colors. I think it's very interactive and it's raised the mood of passengers. Of course we use it only for some special occasions, like Independence Day of Latvia as well.
The airplane is really comfortable to fly for the pilots. Basically it has no there's no legacy here. It's a clean sheet design, and they don't need to keep to worry about keeping a common type rating. So it's brand new. Everything is made for the pilots and with pilot input as well. So Bombardier has done a really good job in making this aircraft. Okay, so I joined airBaltic about 12 years ago. Started as a Fokker 50 co-pilot based out of Vilnius, and then continued as a Fokker 50 captain, and I also became an instructor and examiner on the Fokker 50. And then back in 2008, when the company decided to order the Q400s, I was asked to take the position of project pilot and then later technical pilot on the Q400. So I've been a captain on the aircraft, and I've been an examiner there as well. And then back in 2012, when the company decided to go with the order of the C Series, I was asked to do the same thing on the C Series. So I've been the project pilot. I'm now the technical pilot on this one, captain, and TRE also on the C Series. So yeah, it's very exciting. I get to go to the factory in Mirabel and pick up the airplane, do the custom acceptance flight, and then finally fly the aircraft over the Atlantic to Riga. And it's a direct flight actually that we do, so no stopover, about 6.5 hours, 7 hours. And before airBaltic, I basically did my flight training in the States, in the US. What was common at that time was to go there because it was cheaper, and then actually to be on what they call a J1 visa, which gave you 2 years. So you did your flight training, and thereafter you would work as a flight instructor, flying small Cessnas or small twins, and then build hours. So typically we would have about 1,000 to 1,200 hours, where most of it then was flight instruction actually before coming back home. And unfortunately I came home just after 9/11, so there was not much work at that time. So I had a few years working on the ground. I worked in SAS on the ground side, so I have seen how that works as well.
Approaching Paris, ready for descent briefing, approach briefing. So we expect landing on 09 left, and we got the 80s. The weather is quite good. Wind 1409 there. KNH 1016, and we have temperature of 24, otherwise it was CAV okay, yeah? Okay. So we check the performance, and performance is good for 4, and we have auto brakes too low. ERF for approach is 122, and in case of go around is 138. So we expect the Vedus 7 arrival with the Lorny 4 Echo transition, and then ILS 09 left. Arriving overhead Vedus, we have to be max speed 280, flight level 280 or below, and then inbound Seram, Enori, Devim, below flight level 160, and then Lorny max speed 280, flight level 110 above, or flight level 150 below, and that is correct with the chart 20-2 hotel. And then from Lorny, we then expect the R9 initial approach 9 left, and that takes us from Lorny.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, descend level 380.
Descending flight level 380, Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
380 is set with reflight level change. From Brillard inbound to Papa Golf 501, and that's an open RNF, and then we expect vectors for the ILS. The ILS is on chart 21-3, effective 27th of April, and looking at the arrival data here, it's frequency 10935. That's 1,000 per minute or more, and we have that. It's 1,000 to go, standard. For approach, course is 85, and the glide slope angle is 3 degrees. Platform is 4,000 feet, and the minima 600. MSA is 3,200 in case of missed approach. We climb straight ahead to 4,000 then, as directed, as well as indicated on the screen. Speed, VLS cap. After landing, we vacate to Zulu 5 or Zulu 6, and then we have to hold short of the inner runway. And then we expect taxi on the Quebec to probably to join Bravo at some point. Quebec 12. Sorry, Quebec is close between Quebec 12 and Echo, and then onto Bravo and Echo, and Golf 3 as well was closed. Yeah, and we parked Delta 20 or somewhere.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, descend level 340, 1,500 or more.
Descending 340 at 1,500 feet per minute more, Baltic 84 Foxtrot. 350, checked. That's 1,500 more or more. Three vertical speeds, minus 1,500 feet is set.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, the clear level is 340.
Descending flight level 340, Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
340 is set. Checked.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, master hello, identified. Continue descent flight level 310.
Descending flight level 310, Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
310 set, 3 vertical speed, 1,500. VLS, VPath as armed. We can do a descent and approach.
That's decent approach, juist. Anti-swing.
Auto.
FMS.
Set.
Minima.
580 set.
Auto brake.
Low.
Acres.
Is checked.
Approach briefing.
Completed. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain again. We have started our descent and approach into Paris. We expect to be landing in about half an hour. Weather in Paris is good. The winds are from southeast at 3 meters per second. Few clouds, and temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. I hope you've enjoyed the flight with us this afternoon. Thank you for choosing Air Baltic, and I look forward to seeing you aboard at a later occasion. Have a good day. Thank you.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, descent level 150.
Descending flight level 150, Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
We'll see now what it wants to do. If it wants to level here, it well, it should not, but nope. Okay, V Alt V is armed. Next is 150, but we are clear down, so I'll take V nav out.
Check.
And I'll set a vertical speed there. 1,500 feet.
Wake off the previous one. Kind of prepare the cabin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our destination. Your electronic devices should be either switched off or switched to flight mode. And also for landing, please make sure your hand baggage is stowed away, your armrests are down, tables and seat backs are in an upright position, your window blinds are open, and your seatbelt is securely fastened. After landing, please wait with the smoking until you are in a designated smoking area. Thank you.
I can switch that one to the route, then I can see the time.
So we can see the airport to the left.
And there's 1000 to go, standard.
Check standard.
It's a message.
Localizer will be tuned.
Lock will be tuned, yeah. Nav to nav transfer.
And we have lock 1 is 085 and 10935. That matches with weight. Cabin is ready.
Cabin's ready. That guy didn't tell stand number.
Okay, you didn't get that. I think it will be Delta 20.
We'll see.
We'll find out. So 20 miles direct to the airport. It's going to make it 40 miles, 40 track miles, I suppose.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, descend to flight level 60.
Descending flight level 60, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Flight level 60 set. Check. Flight level change. Check. Alt S.
Check.
Beam the airport now. I can see the Eiffel Tower.
It's straight on, basically.
Air France 12, Novembre Romeo, descendez niveau 90.
90, 10,000 procedures, please.
10,000 now.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, reduce speed to 220 knots.
Reducing to 20 knots, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Reducing to
That is correct. Contact arrival 12643. Bye bye.
12643, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot. Arrival, good afternoon, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Baltic 84 Fox, bonjour, radar relay 09 left.
09 left, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
10,000 procedure complete.
Thank you. Sequence inhibit.
Check.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1015, turn left heading 250.
Descending 4,000 feet, QNH 1015, left heading 250, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
250. 250, heading 4,000 is set. Set QNH 1015. We have a heading mode active. You can set the center line for me on the course intercept.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, turn left heading 230.
Left heading 230, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
230 set, check. Some small airport here, actually. Oh, maybe not even small, it's 2 runways.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, turn left heading 180.
Left heading 180, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Heading 180 set.
Check.
Easy 2439, contact tower 119250, over.
19250, easy 2439, over.
Hey, 1000 to go, 1015.
Checked, 1015.
Europe 8100, une info dans vos 3h04 nautiques qui intercepte l'axe parallèle.
It's about 2.5 cross track, I guess we'll get intercept soon.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, turn left heading 120, intercept LS 09 left.
Left heading 120, clear to intercept localizer, 09 left, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Okay, heading 120.
Yeah, 901, keep 180 knots until 6 miles and contact tower 119250, over.
Approach FMS 1 armed.
965, 9825, yeah, 901.
Approach FMS 1, approach lock 1 and glide stop armed.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, I confirm cleared full ILS 09 left.
Cleared ILS 09 left, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Okay, we cleared full ILS. and heading auto.
Scandinavian 559er.
Flap on.
Scandinavian 559, descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1015, radar LS 09 left.
Descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1015, radar vector ILS 09 left, Scandinavian 559er.
I don't know if you want us to start reducing, but we're catching up. Speed 200 at approach lock 1, check. I'm gonna ask him if he wants us to slow.
Airport gate for Foxtrot, any speed requirement?
Speed 180 knots at the glide.
On glide 180 knots, airport gate for Foxtrot.
At the glide. Glide up is coming.
Check.
Can do flap 2.
Flaps 2 selected.
Europe 8100, réduisez vitesse 160 nœuds, reporté à la tour 119 250, au revoir.
169 19 250, 80 00, au revoir.
Glass up captured.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, reduce speed 160 knots.
Reducing 160, airport gate for Foxtrot.
Reducing speed, so then gear down and landing sequence.
Gear down selected.
November 218 Charlie Sierra on 1.1.5 with Paris information. Do you read? November 218 Charlie Sierra on 1215 with Paris information. Do you read?
Descend altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1015.
Descend 5,000, 1015, FedEx 34.
Thank you.
November 218 Charlie Sierra, Paris information. If you read, please contact Paris Control 124.850.
Flaps 4 selected.
Tracked. And now I'll continue reducing speed. And before landing.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, contact tower 119250, au revoir.
19250, bye, airport gate for Foxtrot. Charles Gaulle Tower, good afternoon, airport gate for Foxtrot. LS 09 left.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, bonjour, 4 miles behind Embraer 170. Wind 110 degrees, 3 knots, runway 09 left, clear to land.
Auto throttle. Clear to land, runway 09 left, airport gate for Foxtrot.
Clear land, approach 2, auto throttle is off.
Check. Altimeters.
FIA 901, cross runway 09 right via kilo 6. After crossing, contact ground 12161.
Esca, pitch George, Y kilo 6, and then
220, Carol 991.
Okay, manual. Check.
Hello, Easy 71 Fox Alpha, taxing Delta 5, ready for departure.
Easy 71 Fox Alpha, bonjour, line up runway 09 right.
Time to wait, runway 09 right, Easy 71 Fox Alpha. Easy 71 Fox Alpha, sorry, we're actually at Delta 4.
FM, you can line up from Delta 4.
Time to wait, 09 right, Delta 4, Easy 71 Fox Alpha.
Really light.
Very light, yeah.
Hop, 8100, maintenez avant la piste 09 droite, point d'arrêt, kilo 8.
Maintien avant la 09 droite, point d'arrêt, kilo 8, up limit.
Plus 100.
Contact.
Minimums.
Contact, reckless land.
AZ71 Fox Alpha, cleared for takeoff, runway 09 right, wind 170 degrees, 5 knots.
Clear
for takeoff, 09 right, 71 Fox Alpha.
Nice.
Flico 6.
The Zulu 6 is this one.
Je te rappelle bientôt.
58.
Airboat Gate for Foxtrot, vacating Zulu 7.
Roger. Hop, 8100, traversez la piste 09 droite. Après la traversée, contactez le sol 121 610.
Traverse 09 droite par kilo 8 de l'autre côté, sol 121 610. Hop, 8100.
Flico 6, le Air Baltique va traverser la piste après lui. Tu pourras pénétrer la piste 09 droite pour l'inspection et rappel dégagé.
Regarde Air Baltique autorisé à pénétrer la piste 09 droite pour inspection et rappel piste inspectée, dégagé de Flico 6.
Air Baltique 84 Foxtrot, cross runway 09 right via kilo 7 after crossing, contact ground 12161.
Fleet cross 09 right via kilo 7 after crossing 12161 Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot, bye.
Cross kilo 7 and yeah, stroke lights on after landing. Left side is free.
Right, it's free.
AZ71 Fox Alpha.
Paris ground, good afternoon, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot via kilo 7, crossed 09 right.
Bonjour Baltic 84 Fox, turn left to join Bravo on left.
Turn left to join Bravo on left, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Tak. Strobes off. Perfect. And procedure is complete. Thank you.
Apron, good evening, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot. To stop at Tango Bravo 3.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, hello, taxi Tango Bravo 2, stand up Delta 20.
Joe Tango Bravo 2, stand Delta 20, Air Baltic 84 Foxtrot.
Tango Bravo 2, check.
Baltic 84 Foxtrot, 84 Foxtrot.
Okay, let's say free. Let's say 3.
Right way.
Delta 2 says this one. Taxi off.
Taxi off. Do you see ground power?
No. I don't.
Paris EC 86 Bravo Zulu, we're now clear of the Air Baltic and request taxi.
EC 86 Bravo Zulu, taxi and hold, stop Tango Bravo 2.
Taxi and hold Tango Bravo 2, EC 86 Bravo Zulu.
EC 83 Whiskey November, bonsoir. Taxi Tango Bravo 3 and hold at the inner stop.
Tango Bravo 3 to hold at the inner stop, EC 83 Whiskey November.
Okay, parking brake is set.
Checked.
Shutdown checklist.
No steer.
Is off.
Maybe Arizona power.
Waiting. So we have 3 minutes. I'll shut down the left one, okay?
Okay.
Left engine run is off.
Maybe I can call to remind them. No?
They're coming, but they have to get a gate.
You see, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. They're doing
so right engine run goes off.
Check. Passenger signs.
Passenger signs goes off.
Beacon.
Off.
Headroom 3 Alpha.
3 off.
3 Bravo,
off,
2 Bravo,
off,
anti-swing,
off.
complete.
Thank you.